Food Time with Jessica Bates, and today we're going to be making cornbread stuffing. And you can't have a Thanksgiving dinner without a stuffing. And cornbread stuffing is the traditional stuffing that you're gonna have. This recipe is really easy to make, just a lot of ingredients, but it's pretty simple. So I'm gonna show you what ingredients we're gonna use. Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna have is about 9 cups of white bread and 3 cups of cornbread. Before you even start anything, you need to make sure that these are properly toasted. So what I did yesterday, because you can make it up to a day in advance, is that I toasted everything together on 250 degrees for about 45 minutes. And you can set it aside and then continue with your recipe. You're gonna also need celery, onions. This is a mixture of thyme and sage, parsley, chicken broth, 3 eggs, salt and pepper, heavy cream, whole milk or half and half, garlic, butter, and turkey drippings. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna saute these vegetables together, and we're gonna basically add all of the seasoning. So we're gonna go over to the stove now. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna melt the butter in the pan, and then we're gonna saute the celery and the onions. So I have my stove on about medium heat. You just want to melt the butter. And in general, when you're caramelizing onions, butter is the best way to go. Okay, so the butter is melted. So what we're gonna do now is add our onions. We're gonna add our celery. I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit, about medium-high heat, and we're just gonna allow these to saute in the pan for about 8 to 10 minutes. So first I'm gonna allow it to get really hot first, then I'm gonna turn it back down so that it doesn't burn. Okay guys, so as you can see, our onions and celery have sweated out, which means that they've lost their water and they're so much softer right now. So that's the key indicator that they've been sauteed. And so now I'm going to just season this with salt and pepper. And I'm also going to add the sage and thyme. And the reason I'm mixing all of these in one by one, I just want everything to get properly incorporated. I'm also going to be adding garlic, just mixing that up. And I'm also going to be adding half a cup of broth. I'm just gonna leave this for about a minute, just to let everything soak in a little bit. Okay guys, I should have mentioned that the broth was to help deglaze the pan, so everything that, you know, stuck or anything is gonna help get it off. So this is finished now, so I'm just gonna turn it off. And what I'm gonna do now is to pour this mixture over the bread cube mixture. And that's the mixture of the white bread and the cornbread. So I'm literally just gonna pour it over like this. Okay, so what I'm just gonna do now is just toss this. I'm just gonna leave that to just incorporate for a little bit. So what we're going to do now is mix the rest of our ingredients together, and then we're going to pour that over this mixture, and then we're going to transfer it into a dish to bake. Okay guys, so we're almost finished. What we're going to do now is we're going to mix the rest of the broth, the cream, the eggs together in this bowl, and then we're going to add it to the breadcrumb mixture, then we're going to add the parsley. And after we put everything in the casserole dish, we're going to put the turkey drippings on top. So we're going to add the rest of the broth. Cream. And remember to always test your eggs first. If they sink, that means that they're fresh. If they float, it means that they're bad, because that can mess up your entire recipe. Okay, so I'm just gonna whisk everything together now. Okay, so I'm just gonna add the broth mixture into my bread cubes mixture. And I'm just gonna toss everything now. And then before I finish, I'm gonna just add the parsley. It's a lot of parsley. And I'm just gonna combine all of this together. You just want to make sure that all of the bread cubes get soaked in this mixture. I've already sprayed casserole dish. So now I'm just gonna pour the mixture in. You just want to spread everything out. This looks so good. And last but not least, for sure, you're just gonna add the turkey drippings. Okay guys, so this is what the unbaked cornbread stuffing looks like. So we're gonna bake it now at 375 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. So I'm gonna put it in the oven now. Okay guys, so my cornbread stuffing is finished, and I'm just gonna show you guys what it looks like. And as you can see, it's really, like, it just looks really beautiful, and it tastes really good as well. It's really crisp on the top, but as you get down into it, it's really soft and tender, and it's really well seasoned. And cornbread stuffing is an essential at any Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm just gonna steal a piece before dinner. And this tastes so good. You can you can literally taste the chicken broth, the thyme, all the different seasonings that went into there. You can especially taste the onion and the celery. I just love how this dish integrated really well together. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode of Food Time with Jessica Bakes, and I'll see you in my next video, which is another Thanksgiving video. Bye!
It's recording.
Oh! Okay guys, so this is what the finished casserole. So this is, gonna also need celery. Sorry. And I'm just gonna pour, and I'm just gonna, I'm sorry babe, sorry. Okay, it's done, and this is what it looks like. And it just has a super yummy streusel topping, and the pumpkin, I know it's gonna taste amazing underneath.